Mm, mm. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Happy Sunday. Hope your day is going on well. Um, you all are welcome to this live. I know many people are not here. I know I might be talking to myself or few people, but as many as can hear me, whenever you join, please just indicate in the chat box. Just say hi. Let me know you are hearing me. Let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. Yeah, just talk to me using the chat function. Okay, and welcome. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Before you forget to do that, go ahead now. Just see that thumbs up already. Hi, Udom. Hi, Jude. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Janet. Oh, Ami is here. Hi, Ami. Thank you so much for joining. Please, guys, you all are welcome. Hi, Brian. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Honestly, I thought I would be alone for about 5 minutes before people will be joining. It's a very busy day for me, and I think I didn't give so much publicity to this program as I should. Welcome, welcome. Oh, you can hear me. Thank you, Ami, for that confirmation. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Oge. Welcome. Please, guys, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. It's free, okay? That's just a little way to support this live, okay? Just give it thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up already. So you guys are really, really welcome. Oh, Deborah, second year social work MS today at Chester. Oh, wow, that's good to know. I don't know why this excited me so much. Oh, Deborah, how is it going? Second year, that's interesting. I'm happy that so many Nigerians, after I left, every year we have Nigerians at University of Chester studying social work. I don't know how many lecturers we still have there. Is Bridget, I think she'll still be there. I follow their Facebook page. Oh, so good to see you. Oh, Deborah, congrats in advance. You are on a very on a right path, and I wish you all the best. Okay, so you all are welcome. I just hope that we make the best out of this live. Like I said, in case you've not done that already, just give this video a thumbs up. It will go a very long way. So today, or let me officially welcome you guys, okay, to this live. We are here to discuss everything about social services. In case you are new, probably someone invited you. Also, go ahead and share this. If you know any group, if you are a student, if you have any group at work, maybe a group of Africans, immigrants, especially who are in any group page like that, church group, that people will benefit from this session, feel free to share this live so we can have more people on board. It's very open. Use the chat function to ask any question that you want to ask. That's what it is. I'm putting myself on the spot, to be honest. I'm putting myself at the spot doing this video because I want to get all your questions. I'll be answering any questions that people will be asking me today regarding social work. Okay. In case you are new, it's intentional favor here. I'm the mastermind behind this channel and we are growing. In case you've not subscribed, feel free to subscribe and also like this video. Okay, please don't fail to do that. I urge you to do so. So I'm a licensed or a registered social worker here in England, and I've been practicing for a little over a year. A little over a year. Yeah, I've been qualified a little over a year, and I've been practicing. And I currently work in a local authority as a children and family social worker. And so I know I've not been in practice for a very long time, but I'm here. I know that I have knowledge. Of course, I did my practicum, like my placement. I did my placement, and these few months or number of months. Okay, let me not say years. I've been in practice. I have good knowledge of social services, especially, when you talk of social services, we have the children's sector, we have the adult sector. But should I say, unfortunately, the children's sector gains more attention than the adult due to what is involved. And we don't tend to hear more about adult sector. So I've been practicing as a children's social worker, children and family social worker, a little over a year. So I'm just here to answer all your questions, your burning questions. If you have any question, just feel free to leave them in the chat function. Whatever you want to know, you can use scenario. If there's any scenario you want to create, okay, just use the chat function to ask me any question, okay? Yeah, I'm here to answer all your questions, whatever it is, okay? Oh, Deborah, going well. Thanks for all the information you always give out here. Yeah, you're very much welcome. Okay. Oh, hi, Yinka. Children's social worker safeguarding. Okay, that's interesting. Welcome. You are very much welcome. Yeah, actually, I work in duty and assessment team. We're kind of first response. Yeah, I don't work in a long-term team. The way my workplace is designed, that's where I am. So, but that's all the cases come to us before we move them to whatever, depending on what the plan is. So, guys, feel free. Do you have any question? Is there anything that you want to ask about social services? I want to use this opportunity because one of the things that actually inspired me to go live on this subject is the number of questions I get on a daily basis from people. Even people refer people to me, people that know me. When they know someone that is in trouble with social services or have anything, they just come to me. People that have some burning questions. So even if it can be a simple question, I remember one of my friends about a week ago or 2 weeks ago was asking me about leaving children at home, at what age, that kind of thing. Okay, so if you are confused regarding safeguarding laws, and of course anybody that is here, if you are a social worker, Minka, you can also use the chat function to put make some inputs or whatever, so that we'll make this more interactive. Okay, just feel free to use the chat box, ask me your questions, whatever. Yeah, so I'm here to get any question, create scenarios. Let me assume that probably your questions are very long and you are typing them. It's taking a long time for you to finish the typing. Yeah, so just feel free, type your questions, and yeah, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to answer your questions. In case you've not given this video thumbs up, please feel free to like this video. Also share this video if you know anybody that might benefit from this. Okay, just feel free to ask the question. So why I feel I'm in a good position to do this is that I'm coming from an unbiased point of view. Personally, I'm one person that I understand social services very well, and I know what it entails, and I know there are a lot of misconceptions about social services out there, especially children's social workers. When you ask someone, okay, what do social workers do? The first thing they will say is that they break families, they take children away from their families, a lot of all of that. And I get where people are coming from, okay? But it's a system, it's a work in progress, and being someone like an immigrant, I sometimes understand, where people are coming from. So I'm here to say it as it is, okay? Real, okay? I'm going to answer your questions as honest as I can, okay? I'm not, trying to paint anything, and I'm going to be very open with you guys. I think we have a question here from Deborah. Deborah said, is it advisable to join the BASWA as a student? As a student, yeah, you might be tempted to. Personally, you know how they say you can join, the fee is reduced and all of that. I joined, but at some point, personally, I had to withdraw because let's say I was just at some point I started doubting, why am I actually here? To be honest, what's going on here? Don't get me wrong. I know that they have some. Even then, I joined BASWA and I joined the social work union. I also joined the union. I was paying the monthly fee. Even when I qualified, the monthly fee, they will give you newsletters, the magazine, and all of that. At some point, I'm like, why am I really here? I don't read the newsletters. I don't all the magazines they send. I've never read any of them. I don't know anything. That kind of thing. I just thought to myself, why am I really here? Like, it's not like any, I know the advice to join union. I don't even know if Baswa is the union. There's another union aside Baswa and I know that I joined both of them. When you are doing the doing the registration, they will also recommend that one. Okay. So if it's about union, then fighting for you and all of that, then you might want to, but it's not compulsory. So personally, I joined as a student because of the way they presented it and it was so flashy. But best believe, over a year ago, I left, and that was a good decision because for 1 year, I know how much I saved because you'll be paying annually going forward. Forget that they tell you that you pay half of the price or whatever, but most times, even as a student, there is no real benefits like that you might get, except you are. Depends on the kind of person you are. You like reading those magazines, getting up to date, and all of that. But personally, I didn't find it useful, and that was why I left eventually. I think I have another question. Janet, what is BASWA and what does it do? So BASWA is British Association of Social Workers. Yeah, just like the name is, Association of Social Workers in Britain. Okay, so you can call it a union, it's an association. So I think, yeah, they do this, their newsletter, they have their annual meeting. Whatever an association does, association of, just like doctors, they might have their own group and all of that. That's what it is, but it's not compulsory. The compulsory one is to be on the Social Work England registration, which is the regulatory body, okay, of social workers. So you can't practice as a social worker if you're not registered with Social Work England. So that one is compulsory for you to practice. But BASWA is just the association. Hi, Omowomi. Thank you. What do you do when your child's teacher or school keeps complaining about your child's behavior in terms of not listening to instructions and all? What is expected? What is the expected to be? Okay, I'm not sure I understand what you mean at that part. So when you're, of course, I have a very close person who is having similar question, similar situation, and I always talk with her every time. She just comes to me, oh, Favor, look what the school is saying now. So when the teacher is complaining about the behavior of your child, the only thing is that it depends. You also watch your child. What are they saying? So one thing I would advise you as a parent, once they start telling you your child is doing this, your child is doing that, this is your child. Maybe you've not been doing it before now, but once you're in this country and generally as a parent, this is a very good parenting skill. Call your child and talk to your child. Okay. Don't take everything they say hook, line, and sinker. They might say this. The same way you study someone to know when is the best time to talk to them. Study your child. When they are happy, maybe take them out, buy whatever they love. When they're in that mood of excitement, you can just call that child and talk to that child. Ask the child, okay, so I got this complaint from your teacher that this happened. Or you can start this way, okay? Let's take it a bit, backwards. So you can just call your child and say, every day, be intentional about it. This goes to every parent. Don't wait until school starts complaining. So, every day, call your child. Oh, how was school today? What happened? Tell me what happened. Let your child tell you their experience in school. And if there's anyone that raises kind of whatever, I always advise people to do this because of the kind of country we find ourselves in. Get a notebook, get a notepad, write the date and whatever your child tells you. If you think you will forget, if there is anyone that, okay, kind of you don't really understand, or you think the child is blabbing or is just talking out of excitement or whatever, write it down. The next day, just make this a habit. Always talk to your child. How was your day? What happened in school? So that when you do this, you will hear your child's experience. Sometimes we think that racism is only in existence in adult circle, is in adulthood. That's a big fat lie. Many children experience racism, but we call it the general name in school, bullying. Okay, but when your child is a child of color, for instance, there are some kids, I don't know, maybe they learn it from their parents or they are just wired that way. I don't know. But you find sometimes some children, they have their disposition towards children of color is actually different and the way they treat them, even down to primary school. Okay. Now, if that keeps happening, just note what your child is telling you. So let's go back to your child. Like these teachers are always complaining your child is doing that. That's the same thing. Call your child in case you've not been doing this before now. So tell me what happened in school today. And then you can now tell them, look what your teacher actually said. Hear from your child their own version of that story. Know what they are saying. I'll give you an example. I told you guys I have a friend that is experiencing this kind of thing, and I'm always in touch with her. She calls me every now and then. So for her, when she speaks to the child, her own is that they are saying that the child is always throwing tantrums, even hit a teacher. It went to the extent that the child hit a teacher. My advice to her was, apart from everything, get the child side of the story, which we got, and we found out that the child, this child likes attention. That's the kind of person. The mom even testified he likes attention. So the mom found out from what he is saying is that the teachers don't give him the attention. For instance, this child wants to stand in front of the line, okay, or in front of the class or wherever, but the teacher will not allow him. He gets angry, okay, and just starts acting. Or maybe in class he's raising up his hand. These are the things he told his mom that happens. Raised his hand, okay, the teacher did not say anything, and then probably to get the attention, threw something to the teacher towards the front, that kind of thing. So your child experiences so many things, and that's why you need to have this relationship to talk to your child. Let them tell you their experiences in school. And if for one you are worried about anything your child says, you have the right to go to school and of course tell this to the teacher, of course in a very polite, calm manner. Okay, don't present as difficult or, oh, you know who I am and all of that. Just say, as a concerned parent, this is what your child said, and you are following it up. Okay, that kind of thing, they will definitely know. I usually tell our people, and take it from me, okay, I don't know who is listening to me. Of course, I can have people, I don't know who is listening to me, but I'm telling you things unbiased and from my experience of what I've noticed. I'll give it to you. If you're an immigrant, you don't need to present yourself. It's good for professionals to know that you know your rights. Let them know that you are not someone that can be pushed out. It will not just save you. Doing that will also save your child a lot ahead of time. You don't have to do what is it called? Like, you are now trying to amend something that has happened. One way you do some preventative work to prevent some things happening is the way you present at school. Present as someone that is knowledgeable, someone that is, confident, okay, not someone that is difficult. When they know that, because sometimes not everybody, they don't have control over the teachers, or the teachers of your children, or even the school they go to. You don't usually have control over that. I don't know the persons that are there. Most of them might be good, but there might be just one person that is either unconsciously biased, someone there that is, maybe even a racist, but of course, because of the country we are in and the law, they will withdraw. They won't be outright. So that one person might be your child's teacher, the teaching assistant, or so. That's why you just need to protect your child. So always make sure that you don't appear timid, that they can just push you around and all of that. That's why I'm so into making sure that immigrants know their rights. Okay. So when you talk to your child and all of that, just happen, make sure that you hear what your child says. Is there any concern? Then go back to the teacher. Now let's talk to our children. Okay. I was using this story. I think I'll continue using this, my friend, like a case study. Okay. So one thing I told her is, if they said your child, like our own case, they said the child hits the teacher or throws tantrum, gets physical out of anger. Although we know that these are the things we found out by talking to this child, these are the things that causes his reaction. But can we work on our child? That was the last thing I told her. Let's work on our child. Okay, let's teach our child self-control. Let's teach our child patience. Teach our child, focus on him for now. Okay. And I know I did a video how to discipline children, and I will say that again. One way to get children, especially in this country where you can't easily spank them, beat them, or do all of those stuff that people in Africa or some other continents do, is to reward your kids. Don't wait until they do something bad to punish them. When they do something good. So I was like, I just told this my friend, you know what? Every day, it doesn't take anything. Chocolates are cheap, biscuits are cheap. It can even be, just know his health, like it can be a healthy snack or whatever this child likes. Just start by a day. If you go to school today and I don't hear any bad report about you, then you get this. You don't even have to give. You can do something like high five, I'm proud of you. Come back. Oh, what do you want to eat? I'm going to give you any food you ask for, even if you don't want to spoil them with unhealthy snacks. Okay, start from a day. When it progresses, do it by a week. If 1 week, oh, you don't do this, I'm going to do this, you will reinforce a positive behavior in your child when you do all of that. So if they are complaining about your child, talk to your child. Okay, what is that behavior? Is that really true? Is that what your child is? Is that what your child is like? Then handle it. And this is a simple way to handle it. Okay, reward. If I don't hear any complaint from your teacher, I'm going to do this. You find that child, oh, because I didn't do this in school, my mom gave me this. That child will try. That's you reinforcing that positive behavior. So first of all, talk to your child. Just a quick recap. I hope I have other questions from people now, so I don't dwell much on this. I'm dwelling much because it seems you don't have so much, questions. So first of all, talk to your child, hear his or her own side of the story, what is happening, and then try and address it. Go to school. Like that, my friend, I told her she went back to school. Even at some point, they suspended this child. They had a meeting and all of that. And eventually I say, go and talk to them. Look at what your child say. Tell them, if you as a parent, it's not like any small thing, okay? Any small thing, don't think it's racism. But if for whatever reason you feel it's racism, you feel that's your feeling. You have the right to feel the way you feel, okay? Still tell them. So I'm saying it to create balance. Not that if anything happens, you just think, oh, it's racism. It might not be racism. It might be your child, okay? But if you feel that way after talking to your child, and this is continuous, that's why I encourage parents to always talk to their children after school. Just develop that habit, okay? Oh, how was school today? Tell me what happened today. Let them do, and children, they talk, and it will interest you to know that when social workers or even these teachers talk to these kids, it's the same approach. Oh, tell me what happens at home. When you wake up in the morning, what happens? And the child starts talking. So I've said it in one of my videos. Let your child be that child that can talk to the mom. Let it not just be only when strangers come, and that's an opportunity for them to explode and say everything. Let your child talk to you. That way, even if there's anything they don't like, if they tell you about it, they won't feel any need under pressure when a stranger comes and say, oh, hi, tell me, how is your mom? Tell me about your mom and all of that. And the child starts talking. If your child is free with you, and you know how you find an opportunity to explode. Oh, you've been waiting to tell someone about this, and you say it. That's what usually happens with some kids when they go to school and say certain things, whether true or lie. But if your child or your children, you talk to them, they will not be like that, looking for who to talk to, someone to give attention. But I want to believe I've answered your question on more with me. If you still have any question, or if there's anything I said that is not clear, please feel free to draw my attention to that. Okay. Okay, yeah, social work union. Yeah, that's the other one, the one that is really a union, because sometimes they tell us the importance of joining a union. They will fight for you if there's anything at work that happens, this and that. That's union. It's not even BASWA sort of. So for me, BASWA, no. Hi, Life of Memes, welcome. Deborah, is it immediately we get to join the Social Work England, and how do we go about this? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, like, okay, you are even from University of Chester. For me, during my own time, immediately you graduate, of course, your results will not be ready. No, before your official graduation, your results would have been ready. But when you submit your final coursework, your essay, and you are done, you've done your dissertation, which is the last one, you feel, oh, you are done. But your result, it will take a lot for them to mark it. Your results will come out. They will take it to the exam board. They will approve and do all of those stuffs. Good and fine. When they are done, the university will send your names to Social Work England, saying that these people, we have certified them, they have completed the course, they've completed the program, and they can now register. Then you yourself will be the one to now go through the process of doing Social Work England. The university will tell you when they have done that, when your results are ready, and when they have cleared you that you passed. Okay, that is when you can actually register. And how to go about it. I made a mistake. I wasn't a good vlogger then. I wasn't into the act of vlogging. I remember I have a video where I did my social work England registration. But watching that video years down the line, I found out that I didn't give really much details about how I did it. But it's pretty straightforward in my own opinion, because I didn't know anybody that has done it then. I just went ahead, went to their website, found out how to do it. I know I went to a post office, certified some documents, did some things, basic steps. And if you have any question, just call them. They will give you the guideline. But I know I did mine. I did some post office stuff and all of that, and things changed. But I can tell you, once you qualify from this country, it's pretty much straightforward. Faith, good evening, welcome. Please, guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Please, like the video, it goes a long way. Elsie, oh, thank you very much, Elsie. Thank you. I hope you have a great evening or day. I hope you have yours too. Thank you very much. Okay, Deborah. Okay, no, that's not you. I think I saw. Omawumi say what is expected to be done. I meant. So I think I've cleared what you should do in that kind of case. Okay, just talk to your child. If your child raises any concern, you know what? See it this way. If anything happens, if your child does anything, and the school they are concerned about it, what do? They call you immediately. You yourself, when your child says anything and you are concerned about as a parent about your child, go to the school. Like I said, don't be confrontational, don't prove or present difficult, just go there as a concerned parent. Okay? Just make sure you do that. And I usually advise people, depending on how you feel about the school, the teachers, and everything, document everything. You guys know in this country, everything is about evidence. Okay, so it will do you a lot of good if you perceive that something might happen, even if it will not happen. I usually advise my friends, anyone I talk to, please keep records. I'll give you guys an example. Please feel free to use the chat function. Ask any question. We are here to discuss everything about social services. Feel free, create scenarios, ask any question, and I will answer. Even if you want the process, okay, just let me know. Everything social services, and I'll be here to answer your question. So I wanted to give an example. This one is someone I know also. I'll just be giving examples of some people I know what immigrants face, especially children in school. So these ones, they are older kids, they are in high school. So it now happened that this child is experiencing bullying, at all, every time. At some point, she was just saying it. All I did was I left this child and I went to the dad. I'm like, look at what you're, because of course I'm a youth pastor in my church. So whenever I talk with I call them my youths, I always, we go into, real life situations. Most times is an opportunity for them to talk. I give them that opportunity, and I hope parents will understand this and create that kind of atmosphere in their homes that children will be able to talk and tell you how they feel about certain things. So during one of those Sundays, okay, this kind of conversation happened. So after service, I had to go to the parent. I'm like, okay, look at what your daughter is saying. For one, okay, I think then that was when he realized my job, like I'm a social worker. But I'm like, look at what your daughter is saying. What have you done about it? It was like, my dear, that is it. There are no many blacks in that school. It's even like maybe my children are the only blacks. If there's any black there, they were born and brought up here. They are calling her this. They are saying she looks like this. They are doing this one. So he was just, I said, okay, you as a parent, what have you done? What have you done really about this? That I say, I've called them. I have told them about it. I say, and what happened? So I called both father and daughter. I called them and now said, okay, for you, the daughter, this is what you should be doing. Get a notebook. I always give this advice. So, because personally, I've heard some cases that when I hear certain things that social workers do, I'll be like, okay, this is kind of unconscious bias. Unconscious bias, or all this, maybe it's a stereotype, something that you just know that, black community, they spank their children, they beat their children, they use belts. So at any slightest opportunity, if they just hear anything, they are just that biased that it's true, it's happening, that kind of thing. So because of that, I usually tell people, that's the advice I usually give them, because you just have to watch your back. Okay, because I'm in the profession, I have if you watch my videos, I have talked about social services, social workers, and we have so many misconceptions out there about the job we do. But social workers, they are well-meaning. The job we do, okay, is very important. If you know, you know. If you understand, if you have experienced maybe some things, you know that, oh, these people are actually doing a good job. But at the same time, I know that everybody is not the same, and I don't know who you will meet. That's why I always give this advice. Record keeping is very important. I told this child, make sure that you get a notebook, okay? If anybody calls you any name, bullies you, or does anything, okay, do you know what you should do? Go and report to your teacher. Because I think, yeah, I think something happened. The child had to use a language more like threatening the child. If you come near me, I'm going to slash your throat. Something like that. And immediately, best believe the child that she said that to reported it maybe to the parents, and they took it up and they called the dad. They even had the meeting. This tells you how quick. Mind you, this is coming from a bully. You are bullying a child. The child retaliated and said something in return. Then the next thing, that child becomes the victim, becomes the offender. It's now this child that everything is on. Why would you say that? And that's why I always say, if there's anything you are worried, be the first to go and report. So I told this girl, if anything happens, go and report to your teacher. She said, I always do, they don't do anything. I said, really? Good. Dad, this is where you come in. When you do, write the name of the person, write the date, write the name of the teacher you reported it to. When you go home, tell your dad, look at this. You, dad, also keep your own records. Keep reporting. If nothing is happening, just keep reporting. Make sure you write the date you did it, what happened, and the teacher you reported to. You, dad, keep record. If it gets to a certain number, nothing has been done, then you go to that school with the record. Okay, I have this record. On this day, my child did this. This teacher was reported this to. This teacher did nothing. That kind of thing. That's the advice I kind of gave. So sometimes you just have to, know what to do. And the thing is about you knowing your rights. And like I said, I'll keep saying, because I know sometimes we Africans, we present as difficult. One typical example is that I, for one, I'm like that. My voice is very loud. I have a very loud voice. You guys can testify, that we Africans, sometimes our voice is loud. And when you are just talking, normal talking, it can be perceived as you raising your voice. Okay, and that's why when you are doing this kind of thing, maintain the best cool. Just calm down, go there, don't present as if you are confronting them. You know you're right, but don't present confrontational, don't present difficult. Just present as a concerned parent. Okay, you have the right to be concerned about your child. You are being a parent. Remember, these, for instance, social services, when they get involved, another thing they'll be looking at is your parenting. How good of a parent are you, and all of that. So try as much as possible to cover your back. So you have the right to be concerned about your child. So if your child tells you anything, please don't hesitate. I gave you guys an example. A child is getting bullied, is being bullied, and then the child says something, and then the child was reported, and action was taken immediately. But this child is being bullied, no action, in quote, was really taken as to calling the parents, your child is a bully. You know, that kind of thing. But at the same time, remember in the first scenario I cited, the next time I met with this girl, I now started, I had to start working on her, which is why I still say, work on your child. And I said, okay, for me, what I usually tell teenagers is, a bully is here, you are here, and the bully is trying to drag you down. Okay, so just keep your shoulder high. You shouldn't just let them, bring you and even get you to now start saying some words. That's when you work on your child. And I told that child, why would you even use that language? Is this what I'm teaching you in the teenage church? That's not what I'm teaching you. Why would you tell somebody that you will, I had to come in, rebuke her, and then I had to teach her what it's like to be bullied. I enjoyed that session I had with them the day I had this session with them. I was just saying some things. We were like, auntie, you get it. Auntie, you get it. I was once a teenager. Is it because you guys see me? I'm a mother now. Whatever you guys are going through, I go through it. Okay. So you have to also talk to your child. For one, please encourage your children not to be physical, not to get violent, no matter what is happening. And that's why you, as a parent, you shouldn't wait for your child to get to that level before you go and report. Because if you don't, when your child does that thing, believe me, your child will be reported and it will be on your child. So why allow your child to go through that? So be active about this, okay? Don't be shy, don't be intimidated because you are an immigrant or whatever. No, know your rights. Okay, know your right. It is very, very important. EBA, oh, you're welcome. I hope you are enjoying it. Please feel free, if you have any question, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Janet, I've heard that teaching your child your religious beliefs is illegal in the UK. Is that true? Absolutely not. That's not true at all. Where did you hear that? That's not true at all. No. UK can be everything, but when it comes to beliefs, they respect your belief. When the problem arises when you cross the line and try to force your belief on another person. That is when it becomes a problem. But that's why I will keep emphasizing work on your child. Teach your child, let them know this is your belief. And there is no way. Okay, there was this case I read online about a social worker that lost her job. They sacked her. Let me use it. They sacked her. Why? Because a random person saw on her Facebook page that she was sharing, let's just call it, maybe say religious content, some things more like it was religious in the sense that it was citing a certain thing. One example is that she said that there are only is it only two genders or two sex or something like that. She was promoting that. And she reported it to Social Work England, did a lot of things. It's on the news. If I can find it now. I was so fascinated at the actions that was taken against this lady. So in the news, it was a court case. And court case would take long. And eventually she won. Because they blame Social Work England, they blame her workplace for not allowing her the right. She has the right to her own belief. It's not like she went to work and was forcing, maybe she saw someone that doesn't have the same belief as she is, and she's forcing it on the person. That's not what she did. She's on her Facebook page sharing what she wants to share. And because of that, you people say that she is doing what? That's what the court ruled in her favor. And of course, she got compensation for the months or years that she was out of work and all of that. So don't be afraid to teach your children your cultural belief, your religious belief. In teaching them that, the only thing is that you can just tell them, this is you. Because like how I usually, when I'm talking to teenagers in the church, how I usually tell them is that know God know who you are, okay? Others may, but you may not. For instance, someone comes to you and say, oh, we have this party today and this and that, or we are going for one celebration, which you don't believe in that celebration. I said, just politely decline, okay? Don't go, I usually give them this example. Don't go and tell them, hey, my mommy said that if you do that, this will happen. You go to hellfire. You have crossed the line. I always sound that warning to them. I said, you will not. So politely decline, say, oh, sorry, I don't do that. I don't do such. Oh, I don't believe in that. Oh, I don't celebrate that. Okay, I'm sorry. Even at some point, children, teenagers, they're asking me, I'm sorry. Why are you sorry? I said, that's you being polite. Okay, so there is no way it is wrong for you to. They respect cultures and beliefs. They respect cultures and beliefs. If anything happens, for instance, I know someone that when it comes to taking care of baby, let me just give a random example. Okay, just imagine, in this country where you want to carry your baby, we have strollers, we have prams, we have strollers and all of that. And you in Africa, your own is to carry your baby behind you. That is how we carry babies in Africa, right? And then someone is trying to say, oh, that's unsafe, to bring a logic. Nobody can win that because in your place, that is how you carry your babies. And it is safe. Let them check it. It is very safe. I know someone that was, telling me something about her baby when the baby was so much younger. Some things that we are afraid of. And now say, oh, if they catch you, maybe put your baby like this, they will do this one. Don't put your baby like this. So if this one happens, I was just sharing that with her that, oh, I heard that you don't do this. So if you do that, she said, really? She said, no, 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 that she was doing it, that, and that's the thing. If you know you're right, you don't do some things as if you are hiding. She said, when my health visitor came, I told her, oh, in my culture, this is how we actually put our babies. Oh, the visitor, really? Yeah. How visitor will talk to you, as far as it's not something that we endanger, like, it's not like you, how do I put it? You now say, oh, because in your culture, you people expose baby, you drop baby on the main road and go, and you see, no, and that's danger. You are putting your child at danger. If it's an outright danger, that one is a no no. But if it's something that is negotiable, they give you advice, do this, don't do this. Okay, it will just come as an advice. The same way like breastfeeding. In hospital, they will encourage you to breastfeed your child. But you come and tell them, oh, I don't want to breastfeed. I'm sorry, I don't want to breastfeed. Nobody is going to force it down your throat, because not breastfeeding your baby will not have any direct harm, known harm on your baby. They will only advise, oh, you declined. They will write it down. They will note it that this advice was given and she declined, and that is it. So this country, I know that they respect beliefs. Okay, your beliefs, be it cultural beliefs, be it religious belief, they respect it so well. So that's a lie. It's not illegal. It's not illegal. You have the right to your own beliefs, definitely. EBA asked, my son had issues in school. His teacher said he was always throwing tantrums and disturbing the peace of the class, especially as he started during Christmas activities in December. True, my son is very hyperactive and likes attention, so he was moved to a special class for children with special learning abilities. Yeah, there's this thing they call, is it not SEN? SEN, I can't remember the full meaning now. Okay, so sometimes, yeah, if they found out that your child is, and I usually tell people, they don't do that as against your child. If you go to that place, like children that have SEND plan, is it plan or SENCO? I can't remember again. Something in that, but it has to do with special education needs and disability. It is SEND, okay, SEND plan or whatever. Then they have a SENCO, who is somebody that handles it. You find out when you go there, it's not only immigrant children that you find there. So they are not doing it, they are just doing it. They feel, and sometimes they might start by reducing the hours of your child. It's not only immigrants or children of color that they do that to. It's general. So sometimes don't think that, EHC plan. Don't think that when they put your child on that plan, because that's one thing I usually get from people. You now think, oh, they are trying to isolate your child. Or no, 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 no. They do it to every child. As a matter of fact, sometimes even if it comes to hyperactivity, children that are hyper, sometimes if you check it, because they are more in population, obviously, you find out that you have more of their children who are like that, because their population is higher when you compare it to ours. So they are not outrightly attacking you, oh, because you are a black person, or because you are, no, 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 not at all, far from it. They've just done that. All I will advise you is to make sure that you see the plan. Read the plan, understand whatever jargons they write there. If there's anything you don't understand, please ask them, oh, I don't really understand what you mean by this. Let them explain to you in layman's language. They will. Make sure you agree to everything there. If there's anyone you are not in agreement with, because sometimes, some people will say, what they wrote there, maybe they referred to your child in a certain way, and you don't believe that your child is that way. Make sure that you respond to that. Someone once told me that, a child, I think the child hit another child or something. And then when he now asked the child, why did you do that to this? Why? That's wrong. And I said he called, because he called me. He said I was doing like a monkey. I think monkey. I'm thinking about an animal, but I think it's monkey. So the mother went to the teacher and was now saying, oh, look what happened. Look at why my child did this is because of this. And the teacher said, yeah. And the teacher went and asked the other child. The other child, as a child, didn't even deny it. They said, yeah, because he was making noise like a monkey. Was doing. And then the teacher came and said, it's because he was making noise like a monkey. That's why. And I was like, and I said, so what did you say? She said she didn't say anything, but she's keeping it for the teacher. I'm saying, okay. She gave her own reason anyway. But I'm like, it's so professional of the teacher to come and tell you. She said, thank you, Favor. I felt that way. Imagine her saying that yes, supporting that child is because my child did in a certain way. My child was talking like a monkey. Because as a teacher, you should, of course, rebuke the other child regardless. Don't call another child a monkey. No, you shouldn't do that because they are doing this. And you have the guts to come and still tell the mother, defending the other child, of course, and say, oh, it's because your child was doing like a monkey. That was why. I said, that's so unprofessional. Like, you should have actually even maybe gone as, that kind of thing. Talk it out because that's so wrong. So I gave that example. For instance, you see in the plan that they refer to your child. This is just an example, not like they called your child a monkey, but they used a word or say that your child is this way. And oh, no, no, no. My child doesn't have this. My child is not this. Make sure you sort it out with them, okay? But don't think that EHC plan, all of that, don't think that they are targeting you because you are an immigrant or whatever. That's far from it. No, that's not it. But just make sure you understand the plan and you are in agreement with that plan. Make sure you are actually in agreement with that plan. Don't just go, oh yeah, oh this is it, and maybe out of, oh, you don't understand, let it not be that you are this, and then you just go, yeah, that's fine. Make sure you read the plan, understand the plan, and you agree with the plan, and then give them a go ahead. Okay. um Hi, Fun with Franjeni. Thank you for joining. She said, my daughter was bullied in her school. She complained to her teacher, but she was ignored. So I went to the teacher myself and complained. Finally, she resolved the issue. Oh, exactly. That's usually what happens. Many times, I don't know why some teachers do this, to be honest. I don't know why some of them do this, because I hear they will go and complain. They will not do anything. That's why you, as the parent, if you are really concerned, talk to your child, have that daily conversation. If there's anything any parent here is taking out from this, is to have a regular habit of asking your child every day, oh, how was school today? And don't be asking that question with intention to hear something negative. Just make it a routine to hear how your child's day went. Okay. Just ask them, oh, did anything happen? Tell me, what did you learn? Just, your child. Just talk to them. Let them tell you how their day went. And if at all you are worried about anything happened, then you as the parent, you need to, because sometimes they will even talk, they will not, especially those in high school. That one is the worst. They just overlook them easily. But you as the parent, it's your right. Okay, you are just a concerned parent. Just go and tell them, oh, my child told me this and that. They need to address it. And if they don't, it's on them. And like I said, keep record. Very, very important. You'll be glad you did that, because you never can tell what will happen in the future. That is what that will serve as evidence or whatever. If possible, let it be a diary that has dates. You wrote it on that day and all of that. Talking about bullying, is it popular at the workplace among social workers? Among social workers, bullying, no, no. I won't say, I don't know what you mean by bullying, but bullying is such a strong word. I don't think that bullying exists. Okay. And like I said, maybe I didn't complete that when I was just talking to my youths about the bullying. Sometimes it's all about you even accepting to be bullied. That's why, and that's because, of course, I go to a church. It's not really a Nigerian church. We're open to, but most of us are blacks there and all of that. I usually try to encourage them, because you are this way, you just need to be outstanding. So you just need to know your worth, know your job very well. If you know your job, who can bully you when you know what you are doing? Not like you're always making mistake and every time, then people will start looking down on you. What you can talk about workplace generally might just be something that is an attitude that people have. It's not restricted to social workers. It happens everywhere. Even as a carer, you can, and it's individuals. Some individuals that they look at you. It's just them, okay? Not about the work, not about the service. It's just about individuals. You just meet an individual that probably is a quite a silent racist, someone that is unconsciously biased, and then they start giving you some attitude, that kind of thing. Okay, yeah, you can say it's more of racism. That's what you can face. Not just that they are bullying you, but you just know that you are just different. Okay, but sometimes it's really not pronounced at the workplace, because outrightly racism is unacceptable. So even that's why sometimes, like, I usually say it might not be outright as racism, but you you can feel it, you see it, but it's not something that they make so obvious, because if it's so obvious, then that person will be in trouble. Okay, that person will be in trouble. So generally, it's not even about social workers. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. If you're facing racism, if you're experiencing, maybe workplace, whatever, it's not really about your profession. It's just everywhere, and it's about a particular individual or some individuals that are in a certain way. Okay, yeah. So let's know if you have more questions. Please, if you've not given the video a like, please, I beg you, go ahead. In case you've forgotten, okay, it's free. Just give this video a thumbs up already. I'm sure you are enjoying it. If you have more questions, just feel free to leave it there. But I just feel like maybe if no one is asking, let's talk about this thing about removing of children from their parents. I think let me address this to calm your nerves, because everybody, if you hear social workers, the first thing that comes to mind is removal of children, and people are usually very scared of this. And I understand. You've heard a lot about social workers. A lot has been said, but let's talk. Okay, we're here to talk about everything social services. I'm aware of time. Okay, so maybe if I finish talking about this, just I can't talk about everything obviously, and if there are no more questions, then I'm glad. Okay, and we can end this session. But just take this from me. The process of removing a child from their parents' care, okay, is very long. It's such a long process. It's not something that happens in a twinkle of an eye, except if a child is in immediate, emphasis on immediate danger. That's one. Secondly, hi, Tangulo, thank you for joining. Okay. Secondly, no social worker anywhere has the right to take your child away, even if they feel your child is in immediate danger. If you understand this, then maybe it will help you not to be so afraid of social workers the way you've heard about them. I say that again. No social worker has the right to remove your child, like to just come like this. And even if they found you that, your child, that you are beating the child and the child is crying and all of that, and they will just come, what? Rescue, carry the child away from you. They don't have that right. Nobody, no social worker has that right. The only people in this country that have the right to do that are the police. The police. Okay, yeah, it's a long process. If there are risk of immediate, not, of course, any harm that is significant, even with the long process, they will remove the child. But it's about immediate risk, then the process will be cut short immediately. Once the risk is immediate, they just have to save this child. Even if it's a long process, the risk has to be significant and the harm has to be significant enough. But if it's immediate, then it will not take forever. It's something that can happen immediately. But there are still process to that. So I was saying that police are the people that have the right. They are the people that can come immediately, okay, and just take a child. It's called police power of protection. PPP. They are the only people that have the right. They can knock on your door, come in, take that child away, and leave. Only police. Power of protection they are the ones that have it. That power of protection. So if they feel that a child is at immediate risk, if this child is left here, okay, and no action is taken, that this child, something harmful will happen to this child. If that's the case, even if a social worker has that concern, call 999, call police immediately. They will come and take that child away into their custody, not a social worker. So if you understand this, you know that once you hear that the social worker is coming to your house, the first thing is not to panic, they are coming to court. Because I always get that from people. Once you just hear that a social worker is coming, your child is open to social services, the next thing in your head is that why they are coming, if they plan a visit, is to come and take your children away. No, that is not it. That is not it. They're not coming to. It's only police that have that power, and it has to be proven. And they have, there is a certain number of hours. I think either 3 days. Okay, if that child will remain in police custody, for instance, if police will still be the one that will take that child, they have about 3 days, either two to 3 days, okay, for them to get a court order for that child to remain away from the family home. If they don't do that, they will return that child back home. Yeah, they will return that child back home until they get that order. If after about 2 to 3 days nothing happens, they don't get that court order, by right they have to return that child back to the parents. Yeah, 72 hours. They have to return that child back home. Okay. Thank you, Yinka and Deborah. You have to return that child. So if you know this, I don't think that by default, once you hear social workers, you are so afraid they are coming to take your child away. I will go further to explain. Okay. And let's say within that 72 hours that they have the child in their custody, in the whole process, that's when social workers will come. Police will not go about. They will now invite social workers. So you know that these social workers are not kind of the immediate people. Let me tell you, there are some people, I've made a video like that. There are some professionals you need to be more wary of than social workers. If only the way you are afraid of social workers, you apply that consciousness when dealing with some other professionals, you will never even have anything to do with social workers. Not only professionals, you know your neighbors. Your neighbors. Your neighbors might be more dangerous than social workers. In quote, dangerous in quote, in terms of, in context of what we are talking about. Okay, you just have to be careful. Okay, no, social workers are school teachers. They are even the main people. I've made a video on this. I've talked about this in a video. I made a whole video on all the professionals and gave you reasons why you should be more wary of them. If you handle them, you have no business with social services in your life. But sometimes we are nonchalant the way we do, and then social workers come, then everybody is on social workers. But it's because some things have happened in some other professionals, in other roles that wasn't taken care of, and from there it moved and got to social workers. And social workers will just have to do their job. So if you understand this, you won't, really be so afraid, oh, they are coming to take my child away. And there's another thing, I'll just say this as an advice, something I noticed among immigrants, okay? How do I say this now? If you come, I know sometimes people come here without knowing anybody. That's why it's very important that you try and build a community. Don't trust just anybody. Build relationship. You know what it will take before you say that, okay, this person is a friend. It's very important if you're an immigrant, yeah, have a family friend in your circle. And if you have children, that family friend or those family friends should not only be known to you. Let your children know them. You know, everybody in Africa, everybody that is older is auntie and uncle. Please make sure that your children have aunties and uncles they know very well. They go to their house, their children may come to your own house too. You spend time. I'm going to explain why. The reason I am giving you this advice free of charge is that, like I said, the process of removal is a long process. If, for instance, social services or police or anybody, safeguarding in this country is everybody's business. That's why you won't blame your neighbors. It's everybody's business. So everybody is into safeguarding. You don't have to be a professional for you to be into safeguarding. So if you understand that, if anybody is concerned and the child was removed, most times police will just take them. Do you know where they will bring them? They'll just bring them to social workers. Sometimes you even see some babies, crawling babies, we are carrying them in the office because their parents, their lifestyle, maybe a father and a mother, blood everywhere, domestic violence. You won't leave a child in that home. You tell yourself the truth. Why will you leave a child in that home? What if in the process of fighting, throwing bottles, something happens to that child? That's why that child is at immediate risk. Police will come and take that child away. Or maybe a child is under the influence, maybe you're high on drugs or something. You can't take care of a child. Okay, sometimes people, so many things happen. Mental health breakdown. Some people, you've seen people, the same way people are suicidal. Sometimes, imagine somebody that has mental health breakdown and then has a child there. You never can tell what they will do to that child. That's immediate risk. That child will need to be taken away. Like I said, 72 hours, then other processes will come. Okay, but something usually happens. Okay, even before the long-term goal, I don't know if I can exhaust all of this in this video, but take it from me, there are processes. long processes to entering care. Care is even, sometimes I tell people, if you understand social services, care is far away. But back to what I was talking about, okay? Back to what I was talking about, why you need to have a family friend that your children know. If in any case they feel that it is not safe for your child to remain in your care, if at any point they feel that it's not safe for your child to remain in your home, they need to take that child away, okay? The next thing will be, who are family networks? They won't take your child immediately and go and put your child in foster care. There is a process. There must be a court order, okay? There must be a court order. There is a process. So they will check about family and friends. And this is where sometimes I find out that immigrants fall short, either because you are being secretive. You don't want another person to know that you have social services involvement. They will come and ask you, so do you have any? Say, no, I don't. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So if your children, okay, if they know, and you, because they'll have to make sure that these children, they know this person is somebody they are familiar with, but they will come and ask you. If you have a brother, a sister, a cousin, even grandparents, okay, grandma, grandpa, or anybody, it even makes it easier, okay? But they will first of all ask for family network. And if you provide a name, for instance, they'll have to go and do checks on them, police checks and everything, to make sure that if they leave this child there, it is very safe for them to do that. So even if they take your child away and say your child cannot return to your home this night, they will ask you whether you have family and friends. I'm telling you what I know firsthand. Some people will, just because they want to cover their bum, but they don't want to expose themselves. Let this person not know that social services. You're not doing yourself any good, though. You're not doing your child any good, because that's when they will now start looking for, depending on the age of the child. If they are teenagers, they start looking for all these supported living accommodations, all these hostels, if you call them that they can place them. Then if they are very young, they can start looking for foster carers where they will put the child temporarily. Remember, they have 72 hours to get order and all of that, depending if they want to actually take that step, depending on what it is. There are some times before 72 hours elapses, they'll have to take the child back home, depending on what the situation, but that child will be open, okay, because a lot will still have to be done, but they have to check how safe is it for this child to return back to the parents. Okay, so that is it. And we've talked about hitting children. I don't talk about that in this video, spanking of children and all of that. Don't leave any mark. And sometimes you never can tell when the mark will come, which is why you shouldn't even bother hitting them. There are best ways to discipline children. I made a video about that already. The best ways to discipline your children in this country without you involving hitting them and doing all of that, because you might lose your temper. You never can tell what will happen. But if you've told yourself, I'm not doing this, I think that will not even be an option for you, because sometimes children can do things that will trigger you, that you just find yourself doing some things that you might regret later, or things that you never wanted to do. So you just have to rule out of it. I'm never doing this to these kids. So what are the other ways? I have a video on that. You can check the playlist, social work. You will definitely find that video. But please rest assured, social workers, okay, are not out there to come and destroy your homes, to come and take children. As a matter of fact, do you know that we believe that the best place for a child to thrive and grow up is the home? That's why, by your own means, they will be involved and make sure that if there is anything, to make sure that the home is habitable, that the home is a good place for that child to come back. That's it. That's the principle. We believe like the best place for a child to grow up and thrive is the home. So we are not so keen on immediately taking the child away. So don't be afraid. Sometimes you just need to ask the right question. That's another thing. Sometimes you need to ask the right question. If you are dealing with social workers, if you are dealing with social services for anything, make sure that you actually ask the right question. Make sure you understand everything that is happening. Make sure you understand everything that is happening. Very, very important. Ask them questions. Somebody was just telling me how, they just gave them an accommodation, very unconducive from what she's explaining. I'm like, are you sure he's a social worker? Why would they put a child in such, that normally if you go to a house and the way she was describing the property, if that's the way that a house is normally, as a social worker, I will even be concerned about this child's welfare in this home. So why would you say that the social worker puts you in that kind of environment? Ask questions. Ask questions. Okay, like I said, don't present difficult, but make sure that you are clear on anything. Ask them questions, make sure you understand any step. Let them tell you what is happening. They need to explain the next day. If they come today just because maybe a neighbor reported and then they came and they introduced themselves and anything, please ask them, so what's the process? Oh, they'll tell you I will have to do an assessment. Ask them the time frame. So what's the time frame? When will I be expecting a result? What happens next? They should explain everything to you so that you know what is happening. But when you once hear, oh, social workers are visiting, you don't have anything to be worried about. You don't have anything to be afraid of. Okay, just be calm, talk to them, but just let it not just be like, oh, the first thing that comes to your mind is, oh, they are coming to take my child away. Far from it. Very far from it. That's not what they are coming there outrightly for them to do. So maybe when you know this, you will, and that's one of the reasons I decided to do this, so that if you have any question, anything at all, you feel free to ask me, to let me know, and yeah, definitely we will get talking. So I'm not seeing any further questions. So I think this is a good time. Maybe we can end now. Favor, can you please address my question on salary threshold on social work that has the same exemptions as health and care workers before you finish? Salary threshold. Okay. So I think I know what you mean, but the salary threshold. Okay. For instance, I think they have reduced it. How much is it now? If anybody knows, please just let me know in the comment section if you know the salary threshold. But I can tell you for free that social workers are not that is not something to worry about, because most times our salary actually exceeds that. Okay, our salary is above, even as a newly qualified social worker. Some local authorities, they as a newly qualified social worker, you start off with 30, 31, 32. I'm not talking about London. Someone might even think about London. No, I'm not talking about London. London, of course, that one is even way higher. But most local, I know, I don't know about now. When I was looking for job, the list I saw was 27,000. But I'm sure it would have increased with all this. It's been like almost, it's been over a year now. Okay, so but I know that many social local authorities, they start off with a social worker is above 30K, and that beats the threshold. If that makes sense, it beats the threshold, definitely. So social workers, by any, they are by no means, affected by that. Please, can you confirm duration for maternity leave? So in the UK, you can take maternity leave up to 1 year. Yeah, you can take up to 1 year. Okay, but you won't be paid for the whole 1 year. And as a matter of fact, it depends on your workplace. Okay, there are some places that for a certain number of weeks or months, they will pay you your full salary. Then after some weeks, after some months, they start paying you the statutory maternity pay, SMP. There is no workplace. I don't think there's any workplace that will pay you your full salary. Definitely, they won't pay you for the whole year, but even anything you are getting is for 9 months. For instance, my workplace, the first 6 weeks, they paid 90% of my salary. First 6 weeks of maternity pay, they will pay 90% of my salary. Okay, plus the statutory maternity pay. Then after 6 weeks, then the remaining 30 something weeks, they will pay me statutory maternity pay. And that statutory maternity pay is up to 30 something weeks. So give or take, let's just leave it in weeks. It's about 9 months. So once after 9 months, I won't be getting even one penny again. But I can choose to stay up to 1 year. But you will be paid for 9 months. That's why sometimes some people after 9 months, they start going back to work. Okay, if they are able to sort out childcare. Because another reason why people stay longer is either childcare or also their mental health or whatever. Okay, yeah, but you can take up to 1 year. Okay, you can take up to 1 year. It's not negotiable, no matter what. You can take up to 1 year, but you won't get paid for the whole. You can get paid for 9 months, and within that 9 months, majority of them is statutory maternity pay, which is small. For me, it's rubbish. No, maternity pay, no. Mojisola, what about social workers that keep asking the kids if they were hit by their parents back in their home country? Has this happened to a friend when she was lied against by her son's teacher? Okay, so if somebody asks a child that question, and the child, of course, back home they hit her or they hit him. So that's the thing about you knowing your right. And the social worker comes and says, "Oh, you hit this child." Of course, I hit my child there because in Nigeria, in Africa, it is acceptable. Nobody will take your child away or do anything on that basis. As far as it's not happening in this country, just tell them, yeah, back home in Nigeria is legal, is law. Tell them it's the law. Schools do it. You can even tell them, even in some schools, most schools, they hit, and me, I hear that they teach. I don't take it as anything. In Africa, it's acceptable. But since I came into this country, I know it's unacceptable. I have stopped it. It's as simple as that. So nobody will take it any further if anything happens. Even if, because like I said, removal is far from it. And there is no way that a court, you go to court and you tender that you beat your child back home, and that is why they are removing the child when you've not done it in this country. No. Okay. So even if they ask them back home that they used to hit them and they come and ask you, it's not even something to deny, because sometimes parents might know that if you know you're right, don't deny it. Just say, oh yeah, back home is legal. Use this word because it's not illegal to hit your child in Africa. Tell them it's legal. So you didn't break any law then in your country. So it's legal for you to hit your child in Nigeria. It's acceptable, and you did it. Okay, and that was because even in public, people, it's not a problem. So I tell them, yeah, in your country is acceptable, and that was why you did it. But since you came into, as far as when you came into this country, you've not been doing it. They don't have any case. Know your right. Stand by it. Okay, let them know that you know what you know, that what your right is. Nobody will make a case about that. As far as you are sure that not that the child came and said that you hit the child here. If the child say you hit the child here, that's a different thing, but that is not even a good reason for removal. Just because you hit like, it even depends on the hitting. Okay, if you use belt and you hit a child and it's true that you hit the child and maybe they even see marks and all of that, and it's clear you use something, that sharp object like a belt, is a serious issue. So don't even do that. Okay, but for something that happened back home, I've heard some cases that they saw a mark. If it's a scar, they'll have to take that child for a medical. Do you know that? They'll take the child for medical. If they go to medical and they see the scar, just tell them and of course it's a scar. They should be able to tell, okay, let's say you came into this country 1 month ago, and then they see a scar that is as old as 1 year. It's obvious. Tell them when you came into this country, the doctors should be able to tell. They are trained, okay, to tell how old they should be able to should a scar is. If it's not a fresh scar, it can be said that, oh, this is over a year. And over a year, where were you? You are back home. If it's a fresh scar, then it's against you. Remember, when they see a mark on the child, it's a serious issue. Mark is a serious issue. Don't even go there. Okay. Hi, Chinenye. Thank you for joining. Thank you. As an immigrant, are social workers exempted from paying IHS fee like other health workers? Yeah. We're exempted. Yeah, we're in the health and social care sector too. But during my own time, they collected it, but they refunded it. They refunded it. My husband didn't pay because I'm under health and care. When he applied, he didn't. Okay, yeah, Yinka, yeah, they are exempted. Yeah, of course. Hi, Oakley. Welcome. Please, guys, if you've not liked this video, please give it thumbs up. It goes a long way. Thank you. Yeah, both children. I'm in children's social workers. Yeah, I'm a children's social worker. We are exempted. Yeah, we are. Adults, their own is guaranteed. Yeah, adult is guaranteed. They are exempted. I have friends that are in adults too, like who also needed sponsorship. They were exempted. Yeah, of course, I'm a children's social worker. I'm very sure about us, and also adult. Even as a matter of fact, when you go and read the health and social care, they will say medical whatever and adult social care, that kind of thing. So social workers generally, yeah, they are. Thank you so much, Inka. I really, really appreciate your support during this session. And it's good to know that, yeah, so many of us are getting into the system. Mojisola, oh, you're welcome. So I don't think there is any further question. If there is any, Probably if you leave it as a comment, might be able to answer. That's why I wanted a live session, because typing, is very limiting. So thank you guys so much. Please check, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've not given this video a thumbs up, I beg you, please do that. It goes a long way. Do you it? Okay, so I think I'm going to report this. I don't know why someone will do that. Anyways, all right. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and I'll be seeing you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. If you've not given it a thumbs up, please like it already. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. But until then, stay blessed, remain intentional, and take good care of yourselves. Bye, guys.